Hello, Exclusive Care members. Thank you for taking time out of your day to watch this webinar on demand. I am Ryan Wan, Wellness Educator for Exclusive Care's wellness program, Healthy Highways. Today we will be discussing an activity that is missing from most exercise programs. While you may have never heard of this activity, you have most certainly performed it throughout your lifetime. In fact, this activity has been performed since the beginning of man. The activity I'm alluding to is the loaded carry. A loaded carry is any activity that is performed by picking up an item that feels relatively heavy to you, holding the item in a particular position, and walking with it for a set distance or time. Whether you are helping a friend move to a new house, transporting a small child, or taking the groceries from the trunk to the fridge, you are performing loaded carries. Loaded carries are a skill that directly applies to daily life, so it makes perfect sense to practice, improve, and progress this skill in your exercise program. In addition to its life application, loaded carries have many additional benefits. When you have the opportunity, go ahead and pick up a relatively heavy item in each hand. Nothing extreme, simply find two items that are heavy enough to grab your attention and stand with one in each hand. Most likely you subconsciously aligned your posture. You stood tall, your shoulders shot back and down away from your ears, your chest puffed out, and your trunk tightened. Your body instinctively prepared itself to bear that load. That is part of the magic of loaded carries. Your trunk tightened both to protect your spine and to allow you to carry the load in the most efficient way possible. Thus, loaded carries are an excellent way to train the muscles of the core. Effective loaded carries are done with a weight that represents a challenge to the individual carrying the weight. Because of this unique challenge, the muscles of the entire body are stressed. This stress is experienced for as long as the individual carries and walks with the weight. These two characteristics, stress and time, promote muscular strength and muscular growth. Therefore, loaded carries are an excellent strength training exercise for the entire body. Increases in muscle mass result in increased metabolism and improved body composition. These two factors improve both appearance and confidence, as well as aid in the fight against chronic disease. Grip strength is useful for many aspects of life, and nothing improves one's grip strength like carrying a heavy object in their hand for an extended period of time. Carrying heavy objects incorporates the entire body. You may be holding the object with your upper body, but your lower body is what gets you where you want to go. It is this fact that makes loaded carries an excellent coordination and agility builder. Last but certainly not least, loaded carries can be used to increase cardiovascular fitness. Have you ever transported a heavy item for an extended period of time or over a long distance? When you put the item down, you had to catch your breath. This means that your heart rate was elevated, and when you perform multiple bouts of loaded carries, your heart rate is elevated multiple times. That's called interval training, and interval training is an effective type of cardiovascular conditioning. Now that we have covered what a loaded carry is and the many benefits that it makes available, let's take a look at some common examples of loaded carries. In a moment, we will provide you with a training template for loaded carries using the three basic carry variations you see on the screen. Starting on the left, you'll see an example of a bear hug carry. This exercise can be performed with a standard duffel bag as pictured, a sandbag, a burlap sack, or even a backpack. The position of the implement in the bear hug carry has an added layer of difficulty in that the implement is being pressed against the rib cage, making breathing even more laborious. The farmer walk, seen in the middle, may be the most popular and basic of the loaded carries. Although the farmer walk is pictured with specialized equipment, it can be performed with basic household materials such as duffel bags, laundry detergent bottles, or water jugs. The farmer walk has been called a walking plank by some highly regarded physical therapists because the use of the trunk during this carry closely mimics that of the widely popular plank exercise. On the right of the screen, you'll see the shoulder carry. The individual in this photo is using a sandbag specially developed for the purpose of exercise. As already stated, household items can be utilized for this exercise as well. The shoulder carry is different than the previous two examples in that the weight is offset to one side. This places a special demand on the body to keep aligned despite the offset in load, and therefore is an excellent trunk stabilizing exercise. Just make sure you evenly split time between each shoulder to balance out the workload and muscular benefit. Before we begin to describe and model our loaded carry routine, let us first cover some foundational subjects that should make your transition into this new type of training more seamless, effective, and of course enjoyable. Cardiovascular fitness is one of our many goals for this practice. Therefore, familiarizing yourself with your target exercise heart rate goals and how to monitor your heart rate is of utmost importance. You'll find a helpful handout below the link you used to play this video that will guide you on this subject. Warming up prior to performing loaded carries will improve your ability to perform this task as well as decrease your risk of injury. You can find a link to a proper warm-up on the same page you found this video. Simply go back to Ryan's Roadmaps and click on Mobility Training. The next step is to choose which implements you will be carrying. The first and foremost concern here is your safety. Whether using exercise equipment or regular household items, make sure that your equipment is intact and secure, ready to withstand the activity you plan to use it for. Last and certainly not least, proper technique must be adhered to at all times. We will discuss proper technique in regards to performing the loaded carries in a moment, but first we must consider how to get the weight you will be using to the loaded carry position in the first place. This will require the technical knowledge and physical ability to properly hinge at the hips, squat, and keep the spine aligned. Please refer to the Mastering Your Movement series on the Ryan's Roadmaps page previously mentioned for instruction on these subjects if you have not already done so. Here is our loaded carries routine. This is merely a suggestion, but when this routine is performed as prescribed here, you can expect to enjoy all of the benefits previously described in this webinar. The routine is very simple. You start by performing a shoulder carry for 60 seconds, 30 seconds on each shoulder, and then rest for 1 to 2 minutes. Repeat this process one more time for a total of 2 repetitions, and then rest again for 1 to 2 minutes. Next, move on to the farmer carry and repeat the process, and then finish with the bear hug. If you perform this routine as prescribed, this will take you no longer than 18 minutes. That's not too bad for a total body workout. So let's look at the routine in real time. For the shoulder carry, straddle the implement of your choice so that the object lies between your legs. If you have trouble getting low enough to the ground to pick up the item, simply lie it on a raised surface. Squat down and get a firm grip on the object. Keeping the back straight, lift the object off the floor and momentarily rest the object on your thighs. Reposition your grip if need be and hoist the weight over one of your shoulders. Keep both hands on the object and when ready, begin to walk. Make sure to keep an eye on your surroundings for anything that can be tripped on. Stand as tall as possible and keep your head facing forward. It's important to take small, deliberate steps when performing loaded carries. Your attention is necessary. Taking large, uncontrolled steps takes away from the benefits of the exercise and increases the risk of injury. Walk for 30 seconds, return the weight to your thighs, and hoist the weight to the opposite shoulder. Proceed for an additional 30 seconds and rest for 1 to 2 minutes. Repeat the process one more time. For the farmer walk, you'll need 2 weighted implements. If you have to use 2 objects of different weights, make sure to switch hands at the 30-second mark. Beyond that, squat or hinge at the hips with the hips back and back straight. Secure a firm grip on both objects and stand up. If you have chosen a proper weight for each implement, you should feel your posture naturally align. Shoulders down and back, chest out, and trunk tight. If your implements are too heavy, the shoulders may round forward and your head may drop. If this cannot be corrected with a simple mental reminder, choose a lighter implement. Besides that, with good posture and head facing forward, walk for 60 seconds with short, deliberate steps. Your weighted objects should never be swinging out of control. If this happens, slow down and take shorter steps. After 60 seconds, put your weights down and rest for 1 to 2 minutes. Then repeat. For the bear hug, straddle the implement of your choice so that the object lies between your legs. If you have trouble getting low enough to the ground to pick up the item, simply lie it on a raised surface. Squat down and pick the object up. As with the shoulder carry, rest the object briefly on your thighs, readjust your grip if need be, and then hoist the object up against your rib cage and hold it there by squeezing in a bear hug manner. To make this a bit more of a challenge, try not to interlock your fingers or hold your wrists. Simply squeeze with both arms independently. Because the placement of the object will pull you forward, try to squeeze your glutes, aka your rear end, for the entirety of the exercise to ensure that your back does not start to round forward. Walk for 60 seconds with short, deliberate steps, drop the object, and rest for 1 to 2 minutes. Repeat the process one more time. So there you have it. Whether you're looking to trim down, bulk up, get toned, get strong, get fit, or simply perform life's daily activities with greater ease, loaded carries are for you. They're easy to learn, yet difficult to do, and that's what makes them so special. Thank you for watching this webinar with Exclusive Care's Healthy Highways.